main guard calls down and says, "Sir, we've been seeing some strange lights in the sky overhead, flying directly overhead, making really weird maneuvers. They're not airplanes, sir. They're able to fly very fast, stop in midair, reverse course, make 90-degree turns. There's no engine sound." And then very quickly thereafter, bing, 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 all 10 of them went down.
That was retired Air Force missile officer Robert Salas claiming that UFOs disarmed multiple nuclear missiles around a Montana Air Force base. He was stationed there during the Cold War in March of 1967. Since then, there have been multiple reports of UFO sightings at nuclear sites and bases all across the country, but nobody seems to know exactly what's happening here. Robert Salas is the U.S. Air Force missile officer that you just heard from. He is joining us tonight. Robert, I appreciate you being here. So it's March 24th, 1967. Guards report an unidentified aircraft near the base. Take us from there. What happened next?
Well, I got two calls. First call is the guard was describing the maneuvers of this object, these lights in the sky, and he kept repeating, "These are not aircraft. These are not aircraft." So I had to take that seriously. And he called me a second time about 5 minutes later. And this time he was incoherent, screaming into the phone loudly. I had to calm him down. And finally he told me he had all the guards out, their weapons drawn, and at a glowing red-orange light that was hovering just above the front gate. Mm-hmm. He wanted me to tell him what to do next. I'm sure he wanted me to tell him to fire on the damn thing, but I didn't. I was shocked, number one, by the report. However, I had to take it seriously. This is a serious situation. I told him, make sure nothing enters the fenced-in area. We hung up. I went to wake up my commander who was taking a rest break, and then our missiles went down while this object was still up there, all 10.
The missile stopped operating, is that what you said?
Well, they went into a no-go condition. They couldn't be launched. And
okay, so let me just ask you there, Robert, just in the interest of time. 1967, how difficult is it to do something like that, just shut down nuclear missiles from operation?
Impossible. We had never experienced anything like that. We were never trained on anything that could happen like that, or
okay.
There was no suggestion that something like that could happen.
And you're convinced this was another civilization trying to communicate with us or even you on the base? Have you ever speculated about what they were trying to communicate?
I have, because I've researched about 15 other incidents, well documented, supported by witnesses, etc., where something similar happened. And taking all that into account, I think what they, and I'm convinced they are not from here, were trying to send us a message, and the message being we need to take seriously the abolition of nuclear weapons worldwide. We are obviously a war-prone civilization.
We certainly are.
Eventually these weapons could be used, easily could be used,
okay.
And that would start nuclear holocaust.
So two questions, I guess. Where do you think they come from? And then could you explain to me, again, I know you're speculating, but here we are 60 years later. The public essentially knows exactly what we knew then in 1967 about UFOs and about this sort of phenomenon.
Number one, I don't know where they are from. I have not had any direct communications with them in that regard. Yeah, the public should know.
But you think the government knows? You think the government knows what's going on?
Absolutely. I gave a 2.5-hour presentation to Arrow, the group studying this subject, and they officially announced to me in writing that my story is an official record on the UAP.
Yeah.
So Congress should have access to all of that.
Okay. Robert Salas, we'll leave it there. I hope you'll come back. I know that you've testified on Capitol Hill recently, and you've spoken with multiple members of Congress about this and other sightings, but it seems like it's happening with frequency over nuclear installations the world over, which can't be a coincidence. Robert Salas, great to have you on tonight. Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.